This is Father Greg Rapasarda, and I just want to send out this message to the graduating class of Our Lady of Hope in St. Luke. We are all very proud of you. Imagine that you're the first class to graduate through social media or even through a drive-through. Imagine that you're the first graduating class that's graduating during a quarantine, and you have adjusted to all of these circumstances. Who would have ever thought that back in February or in March, the early beginning of March, that we would have thought we wouldn't have had our final class masses together, or that we would be in this situation. But you have adapted well. And when we look at this through the eyes of God, we can continue to see how God brings good in everything. So the leaders around the world, the medical profession, and the scientific communities and the religious communities have all come about to bring life, to bring health to the world, because we all want to live healthy lives and we want to live them together. So we've seen an example of how God brings good out of every situation in life. And despite the quarantine, you have adapted. You've done whatever you needed to do to be able to adjust to your graduations. And now you're beginning a new life as you head off to high school. I've been here for 7 years, so many of you started in the first grade that when I first came here. And it's wonderful to see how you've not only gained in knowledge, but you've also gained in wisdom. And wisdom is the ability to see things through the eyes of God. So when you're looking at a situation, you can see God's mercy and also God's love. And you can see that in your own life, and you should be very proud of that. So you've given us an example of how we should live. Now, you all are very blessed because you've had the benefit of Catholic education. I mean, Sister Irene, Mrs. Gu, all the faculty that were there, all work for your best interests, and they all love you. And so you've learned to grow as a community, to support one another, and to come together as you not only came together for masses, but came together for all your classes that you've had. So we thank you for the example that you've shown to the younger students. And everything you've learned has strengthened you for high school. So have the confidence of knowing that even though high school is going to be a different experience, you're going to see more people, it's going to be a larger community, that you can be the source of strength for that you can bring your friendliness and you can bring your love for one another to the schools that you're going to. So I had a Catholic education. I went to St. Matthew's School, and then I went to Loyola High School after that, and then I went to Towson and University of Baltimore, where I went to law school. And who would have known that I ended up at St. Mary's Seminary to be ordained a priest? But I really enjoyed the gift of learning and to be able to know more about not only God, but about myself and about my family and about others. And that's the perspective that you bring to high school. So I still see my elementary and high school friends. So I feel that that's a real blessing and a real unique circumstances in my life. And I wish it for you also, that you coming together as an 8th grade will continue to see each other throughout high school and hopefully for the rest of your life. You'll be able to tell stories about this quarantine, and you'll be able to share them with your children and your grandchildren. So here's a couple things that I think I've learned from my experiences that I hope that you'll consider. One, stay in touch. Don't isolate yourself. I'm still blessed to see my friends, and I see them at church, and we often talk about some of our experiences, not only throughout the 8 years of elementary school, but also throughout high school. So stay in touch with the church, too. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You know, the church doesn't ask us to do anything that's detrimental. And what the church asks us to do is not that hard. So you can go to church and you can be part of the community. So we hope to see you back again. You can be as Eucharistic ministers, or you could be readers, and you can begin to get together yourselves just to stay in touch with the community. The second thing that I think is important during high school is to be open. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts or to think that you're the only one that thinks these things, because you're not. You've developed a good conscience by now. You know what's right and what's wrong. And so you want to make sure that if someone asks you to do something that you feel uncomfortable with, that you act on that, and that you make sure that you make good decisions of conscience. And surrounding yourself with good friends during high school is going to be important for you to do that. So resist feelings that you're alone, that you're the only one that this is happening to, or that no one likes you, because they do like you. And sometimes we have to fight those feelings of our own loneliness. I've had to do it for myself throughout the years. And you begin to do that by taking a prayer time. And I have found that in praising God and understanding how much God loves me, I'm better able to understand how to love others. So love your neighbor as yourself means that you first need to love yourself. And that means to understand how much God loves you so that you can love others. So I hope that you're able to continue to create habits and routines in your life that are good. Decide to be happy. Decide to look at the positive things in life. Decide to see the goodness of God in everything, even the goodness of God in this quarantine or in this pandemic that we're now experiencing. So stay close to the church, and hopefully we'll continue to see you around as you support one another. And of course, the students would love to see you when you come back to visit the school. You will be heroes in their eyes as you are heroes in our eyes.